Blow darts, very efficient, primitive weapon. You have a little holster of darts here, and these would be dipped in frog poison and put it in. I think they would load it there and just...
It is my money. No, we're gonna make plenty of money, dude. No, seriously, Dad, what do you want me to do? Nah, it's yours and the old man's. It's the stores that you tell me to spend. Let him walk away. Ask me. Money, you this, dude.
A guy strolls in clutching the Seinfeld series finale table read script, fully signed by Jerry, Jason, Julia, and Michael. He's shooting for $5,000 thanks to a Castle Rock hookup, casually roasting the episode while still pricing it like TV royalty. Talk about confidence.
What we got here?
Seinfeld, last episode, signed cast script.
Okay.
To my knowledge, this was only given out to friends of the show and people that work for the production company. It was the table read script signed by the entire cast.
He swears the autographs are legit and proudly shows off the crisp shadowbox display, already counting the cash in his head. Rick isn't buying vibes alone though. He hits pause and calls in an autograph expert because fantasy money doesn't spend.
That is pretty damn cool. Where in the hell did you get this?
A friend of mine worked for Castle Rock, the production company for the show, and did me a little favor, so I asked him for a script, and this is what he gave me.
Expert Steve steps in and starts dissecting signatures like it's a crime lab episode. Jerry's full name checks out, Jason's chaotic scrawl fits perfectly, Julia's shortened signature lines up, and Michael's upward finish seals it. Seller looks ready to pop champagne.
A guy brought in a signed script from the finale of Seinfeld. But before I get too excited, I'm having Steve come down and tell me more about it.
Then, reality hits hard. Steve pegs the value at about $1,000. Rick throws out $700, the seller fires back with $3,000, and that negotiation collapses faster than a sitcom spin-off.
So, what do these things go for? Was there a lot of these?
Yeah, with that said, I've seen a fair number of them through the years. Because you have a frame display here, which really looks nice. I mean, this is a great looking piece.
Hard pivot. Now we've got 1800s leather fire buckets, mostly Maine-made, hitting the counter. The seller's raising college money and wants $5,000, while Rick nerds out over bucket brigades and small-town firefighting grit.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Fire buckets?
Fire buckets. These are like late 1700s to late 1800s.
Where did you get these?
Oh, I've been collecting. They all came out of Maine.
Okay.
These are some of my favorite ones, but I've got a kid in college and figure I'm gonna have to let some of the collection go.
Rick zeroes in on the older matching leather pair and explains why collectors drool over sets like this. He lands at $3,800 after a tense back and forth, and boom, deal done, history sold, tuition funded.
This one right here, I'm not really in love with. I'm just telling you that right now. This thing you can still use today. These are the ones that are cool because these are the ones they stopped using. They're leather, they rotted. Just a million different things happened to them, so they're not around a lot. Can I give you $3,500 for them?
Next stop, Rick and Chumlee head to a house that looks like a haunted carnival exploded. Killer clowns, fake pig guts, Ouija boards, and a Donkey Kong cabinet chilling in the middle. The seller wants $2,500, and honestly, the room alone deserves an admission fee.
We got a call at the pawn shop. Somebody had a old vintage Donkey Kong arcade game. It's a video game. Chum's my sidekick. Might as well bring him with me.
Come on in. This is my weird media room, and this is Donkey Kong, but as you can see, it doesn't really fit the motif of the room.
No, not at all.
They fire up the game while waiting on verification, and Rick admits he didn't even know jumping was part of the gameplay. Chumlee wastes zero time roasting him. Originality matters, so Rick calls in arcade expert Nick to inspect every component.
Can we play it? Can you check it out?
Yeah.
You know you're supposed to jump, right?
No idea that you had to jump, Joe. Lame. Shut up, Chum. All right.
Nick confirms the cabinet, board, and monitor are all original, which feels like a win, until he drops the value at $600 to $800. The seller's face freezes like he just lost his last life.
A guy called the shop and said he's got an old vintage Donkey Kong arcade game. I really want to get Nick down here and make sure it's not a bootleg, because sometimes when these things are too good to be true, they most of the time are.
Well, here it is. Wow. Yeah, I took a lot of my lunch money back in high school.
Good old Donkey Kong.
Rick offers $300, nudges to $400, but the seller refuses to part with it at that price. Donkey Kong stays put, guarding the creepiest media room known to mankind.
Not quite what you're looking for.
No.
They made a lot of these. It's not rare.
Nick, thanks a lot, man.
Hey, you're welcome. There's really not much market for video arcade games because most of the people nowadays, they're looking for, 60 to 400 games packed into one cabinet.
Back at the shop, a man presents a chair he claims lived in the White House during Lincoln's presidency, asking $2,000 with letters and a newspaper clipping to back it up. Rick smells potential but knows presidential claims demand airtight proof.
Hey, what do we got here? Well, obviously what we got here is a chair.
It's a chair, one of the most famous chairs you'll ever see.
Oh, really?
Abraham Lincoln sat on it while he was in the White House.
Okay. Well, I'm sure he sat in a lot of chairs.
Historian Mark examines the chair and compares it to period photos, including a Matthew Brady image. The carving details don't line up, and you can practically hear the optimism deflate.
Have this over here.
Let's take a look here. Okay. That's a well-known photograph. This is one of Matthew Brady's photographs of Lincoln. It shows this decorative element right here on the side.
Mark delivers the final verdict. There's no solid documentation tying this chair to Lincoln's White House. Rick walks away because belief doesn't sell, evidence does.
Peace.
Well, if I buy something off a customer, I gotta resell it. When I resell it, it's gotta be beyond a reasonable doubt what I'm selling is what I'm selling. It's just the way I do business, but at this point, I can't make you an offer. So, thanks.
A seller strolls in confidently with what he claims is a Civil War snare drum and a bold $2,000 price tag. Rick's curious but instantly suspicious. Those stars and polished details feel more marching band than muddy battlefield, though the thought of kids drumming soldiers into battle still hits hard.
Hey, what can I help you with?
I've got a Civil War drum.
Okay.
I've been in the family since I was a kid.
Why did you need to ban the Civil War?
So where did you get this thing?
A good family friend of ours who collected Civil War, antiques, she gave it to us as a gift.
Rick starts breaking it down piece by piece. Metal sides, inlaid wood, and wear marks exactly where a drummer would carry it. The history lesson is fascinating, but that overly decorative look keeps nagging him. Something about it just feels off.
During the Civil War, believe it or not, they usually just had kids carry the drums. They would actually play these things going into battle. And the reason they'd have a kid playing it is because you can have an older guy use a rifle with a bayonet a lot better.
I wouldn't want to be that kid, man.
During the Civil War, a lot of kids enlisted into the Army as musicians.
Enter expert Mark, who wastes no time explaining how drums once controlled entire armies with rhythm alone. He studies the build closely, and you can practically hear the seller holding his breath while the verdict loads.
Hang on, what do we have?
Apparently we have a really old drum, and I figured if anybody would know anything about it, would be another old drum.
And there it is, the hammer drops. Not Civil War at all, but a late 1800s parade drum. The seller's disappointment is immediate. Rick's poker face says, called it, and suddenly that $2,000 dream evaporates.
Interestingly, in the Civil War, a lot of the drums used were quite fancy. They would normally have an eagle on them or a flag on them. They would be painted. These were used to an extreme extent during the war. But as I look at this, I don't think this one is Civil War.
Negotiations kick off fast and brutal. Rick reframes it as decoration, not history, and fires off $400. After some back and forth sparring, they land at $500, and Rick seals it with a nod that screams, I'll survive.
How about 2,000?
You don't have 2,000 bucks here. I will give you like 400 bucks though.
But it's a real drum. It was, it's the real deal.
It's a real drum, but if it was Civil War, it's a military collectible. Civil War nuts will buy it and everything.
Over to Corey and the old man, who are eyeballing a massive 1922 photo printing table complete with a glowing hand-blown bulb. It's undeniably cool, but everyone knows cool doesn't always translate to sellable.
This is the 1922 photographer's printing table. Well, all the parts are here, and I think it's got some pretty cool components, especially this hand-blown glass light bulb.
That's probably got like one of the smallest filaments I've ever seen in a light bulb. You break it, not me. This was probably used to print postcards, invitations, things like that had a photograph.
Corey explains the old school process: glass plates, timed light exposure, chemical baths, while the old man reminds everyone these dinosaurs were still chugging along decades later. Nostalgia is strong, but the value question looms large.
You gotta understand it was a lot different back then. People had cameras at home, but they were really poor quality. If you wanted anything nice, you went to a photography shop, and they would have a piece of equipment like this.
I can remember back in the 50s, they were still using these monsters.
Then the seller swings for the fences, tossing out museum-level numbers between $5,000 and $10,000. Rick counters with a cold splash of reality at a few $100, and suddenly the room feels tense enough to snap.
Okay, with the little red light and everything on, there'd be two plates of glass. They'd put a negative in between them. They'd take some photographic stock, just line it up, put it in there, flick it with a switch. The light would come on underneath for a set amount of time.
No deal happens, despite the seller admitting he paid just $60 for it. The old man lands the final jab. Museums don't buy, buy, they accept donations, and the seller walks out empty-handed.
No, I think the lowest I can probably go down to is 2,000. I looked and researched, and I saw that the only one identical to it's found in a museum. It's not even in this country, it's in a museum in Canada.
Next up is a blast of post-war biker culture. Framed Royal Riders memorabilia from 1946, complete with helmet, goggles, and serious attitude. The seller drops the Ed Kretz Sr. connection, and Rick's interest spikes instantly.
What do we got here?
Got a 1946 Royal Riders motorcycle memorabilia.
Yeah, this is the way they used to ride. The helmet was to keep you warm, it was to protect your head.
I've been in motorcycle accidents, and this wouldn't have been a fun thing to have crashed in.
Corey loves that it's already display ready, while Rick frames the bigger picture: surplus bikes, returning soldiers, and the birth of American biker identity. Still, this feels like expert territory, so in comes Danny.
Plus, you got to remember, these guys came home from World War II a little high-strung. I mean, they were used to getting shot at, and it's kind of hard to spend 4 years doing that and come home and sit in a rocking chair.
During World War II, GIs fixed and maintained everything from motorcycles to airplanes.
Danny confirms it's authentic club-era gear, though not Kretz's personal items, which would have been jackpot territory. Even so, the condition and cultural weight put it solidly in the $1,200 to $1,500 range.
What the hell am I supposed to do over here?
Earlier, a guy brought in some memorabilia from an old motorcycle club, the Royal Rider. I don't know a lot about this stuff, so I called in somebody who does.
Danny, my man, how you doing, bud?
What's up, Jess? How you doing, Corey? What do we got going on here, man?
We got an old motorcycle outfit from the Royal Riders MC.
Negotiations rev like an engine. Numbers bounce fast until they settle cleanly at $1,200. The handshake hits like a finish line, and Corey's grin says this one's staying on the wall.
My big question is, what's it worth?
Is this actual Ed Kretz riding attire, or?
I don't think it was his attire.
If it was Ed Kretz's himself, it would definitely be more valuable. Well, it looks in really nice shape. I would say something like this should be worth anywhere from like $1,200 to $1,500 in my opinion.
Then comes a Colonial curveball, a 1652 sixpence pulled from a house wall with a $3,000 ask attached. Rick spots the grating instantly, and that fine details damaged label sucks the air right out of the room.
What do we got here?
It's a 1652 sixpence.
Okay.
Rick, this looks like it's run over by a truck.
What do you expect? It's 359 years old. We'll see what he offers.
So where did you get this?
Out of the walls of our house in Saugus, Massachusetts.
Rick offers $500 based on reality, not romance, and the seller takes it personally. No deal, no smiles, just a quiet reminder that history doesn't override condition.
On how bad they're worn out. You'll notice they didn't put any number there.
Yeah.
It says fine detailed damage. When a coin is damaged, it's not graded.
When it comes to grading coins, damaged is like getting an F, but that doesn't mean it's worthless. There's a huge market for Colonial era coins.
Walking into a pawn shop claiming you've got a George Lucas signed Star Wars script is bold behavior. Rick's interest sparks instantly, but the moment $25,000 gets mentioned, the force shifts and the tension hits light speed.
How you doing?
Hey, what do we got here?
The holy grail of all Star Wars memorabilia.
Is this the original script? One of the original scripts?
It's the fourth and final draft, signed by George Lucas.
This is really neat. Does the plastic come off?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
The seller says he found the script at a yard sale and casually admits he used to read it while role-playing Han Solo. Rick presses for details, but maybe it was handed out to some people is not exactly authentication gold.
That's real secure.
All right, so was this used by one of the stars? Was this one he used when he directed?
So from my understanding, these are the final revised scripts, and he gave them out to probably a couple different people trying to sell the story.
Then chaos breaks loose when Chumlee suggests performing the scene. What follows is Rick delivering lines like a bored substitute teacher, while Chumlee's Darth Vader sounds like he escaped a kid's cartoon.
I'll be the rebel officer.
All right, I'll do Vader.
Where are those tapes?
Only the commander knows.
This ship carries the crest of Alderaan. Is any of this royal family on board?
Wait, that was Hulk Hogan.
Reality slams back in when the seller asks for $25,000. Rick immediately calls in autograph expert Steve Grad because this just went from cosplay to serious money territory.
$25,000.
This is a script. I don't know how many of them out there. I don't know if they reproduce them. I have a friend who's the consummate Star Wars nerd, and luckily he's also the guy I always use to verify autographs.
Perfect. Steve arrives practically buzzing with excitement and starts with the ink test. It's live ink, the signature style checks out, and suddenly the seller looks like he's back in hyperspace.
So I called in Steve to find out more. This is like the ultimate Steve grad item. It's got George Lucas's signature on a Star Wars.
Well, yeah, you know me and Star Wars. And that's the movie that started it all. The funny thing, when Star Wars first came out, May of '77, the big premiere was at...
Then Steve drops the bomb. No studio markings, no production ties, no proof it ever touched a film set. It's just a revised draft, not a holy relic.
Yeah, no question about it. Beautiful, gorgeous signature of George Lucas. I mean, it's about as pristine and gorgeous as it gets.
All right, so what's the deal with this?
Okay, that's the thing here. Now, this is revised Ford draft, March 15, 1976.
The value reality check is brutal. A real production copy could hit $30,000, but this version tops out around $2,000, and the seller's face just fully deflated.
Okay, so what do you think it's worth?
If this was a shooting script, if this is something that they actually used, let's say it was Mark Hamill's copy. I mean, we're talking $25,000, $30,000 easy. This one, at the high end of the spectrum, probably $2,000.
Rick offers $1,000 and the seller passes. Instead, he keeps it for his kid, hoping future Star Wars mania does what the Force couldn't today.
Yeah, not really. I mean, if I could get a few thousand, I would do it, but...
I'd give you $1,000 for it.
No, not quite, but I appreciate the offer.
Well, if you ever change your mind, come on back.
Thank you, sir. Once I give it to my son, maybe in a few years, it'll go up in value.
Next up is a Tiffany & Company silver ice bucket, and yes, it's fancy. The seller wants $8,000, and Rick looks like he just got iced himself.
It was that little, huh?
That they don't place value on, but they just want to get rid of it.
I'm assuming it's an ice bucket?
Yeah, that's what I was told.
Okay, it is Tiffany.
Rick explains silver melt value is closer to $700 and caps his offer around $1,500. The seller wants $6,000, negotiations freeze, and the bucket exits with zero confetti.
And the quote that I got was $8,000 on the bucket.
That is really rich for my... I mean, we have, what, $600, $700 worth of sterling silver here, which is a lot. And because it's Tiffany's, I'd offer you like $1,000. You have to see my side of it. There's not very many people lining up to pay.
Chumlee then pitches his latest masterpiece, a pawn shop museum with a $5 admission fee. Rick and Corey shut it down instantly while Chumlee acts like history just doesn't understand him yet.
I had a little idea. Pawn shop museum.
Pawn shop museum?
Yeah, just like a pawn museum, you know? All the stuff that we've taken in, there's nowhere to display it out there.
You know what? It sounds like a good idea. We can reorganize and put a bunch of stuff in one section or with like a little tour guide there to tour guide / salesman. I think it'll be a really cool idea and they'll sell.
A college student brings in a terracotta Benjamin Franklin piece and confidently calls it a coin. Rick nearly short circuits before calling expert Dave to sort out reality from optimism.
And that is not a coin. This is a Benjamin Franklin terracotta plaque. These were really popular in France back in late 1700s.
It's a coin to me.
Dave confirms it's an authentic 18th century Franklin medallion from France. Rick offers $1,200, they haggle and land at $1,400. Not textbook money, but not bad either.
Is the front of the piece.
Okay, so what do these things go for?
These are not very common, and this one's actually in very good shape. You know, they're worth to a collector $1,500 to $2,000, in that range.
The episode ends with Chumlee secretly running his museum anyway. Rick shuts it down immediately, but Chumlee insists on keeping the $5, proving once again he'll hustle anything with a straight face.
We've got a sports section over here. We've got a steam engine that was a salesman's sample. I've even got some old telephones that could have been used by Benjamin Franklin himself.
$5, man.
$5, really? Chum?
Yes.
What is going on?
Are you serious? This is the Pawn Museum.
The episode kicks off in full medieval chaos when a seller claims he's got a legit 16th century jousting helmet. Rick throws it on and immediately hates his life. Heavy, claustrophobic, and about as heroic as getting your head stuck in a trash can. The seller stays confident though, standing firm at $5,000 like this helmet personally rode into battle.
So tell me about how you got this thing.
I took a trip to Germany and I came across this really small little place. This guy had a bunch of antique armor he was selling. These helmets are really rare. They're really hard to come by, but it's worth about $5,000. I'm hoping to get something close because I just need some cash.
Rick spots trouble fast, a machine-cut bolt front and center which absolutely did not exist in night times. That's like finding Bluetooth in a castle dungeon. He calls for an expert because no one wants to pay Renaissance prices for something made with Home Depot parts.
Yeah, that's, I just don't know enough about it to buy it.
I love this helmet. I'd love to have it, but I got reservations. I don't know how old it is. I don't know what it's worth. I don't know if it's real. And if it's not real, it's not worth my time.
I mean, the only thing that concerns me about this looks like a modern bolt on the front of it.
The expert arrives and examines the helmet with intense focus, like he's about to deliver bad news with a straight face. He admits it looks convincing, but that bolt is screaming, "Not original," and the seller's confidence starts to wobble hard. You can almost hear the internal panic.
When it comes to antique arms and armor, they are my passion, they are my life. I've delved into the dark secrets, I've learned the techniques. It's just history you can hold in your hand. Where'd you come up with this?
I got it from a dealer in Munich.
In Munich.
If it actually was an actual Renaissance helmet, how much do you think it would be worth?
The last ones I've seen sold through catalog and auctions were between 20 and 30,000.
Verdict time, and it stings. The helmet turns out to be a Victorian-era reproduction, not a true Renaissance piece, instantly slashing its value. Rick passes without hesitation, and the seller walks out carrying disappointment instead of cash. Brutal.
Armor would have been made for somebody that had money,
Right.
had position, had power.
So that's the value, right?
Well, it adds to the intrigue.
Right, okay.
Is it a real piece of armor? Yeah. Is it an old piece of armor? Yes. But this is going to take a little more investigation.
Next up, a guy rolls in with a flashy motorcycle and zero chill because payroll is due. He wants $20,000. Rick throws out $8,000, and suddenly we're watching a man defend every custom detail like it's his child. The tension could power a headlight.
So I gotta ask, man, why would you pawn a bike like this?
I gotta make payroll. I got employees that count on me, you know?
Pawning is basically the simplest form of credit. You give us an item that we take as collateral, and then we'll give you cash. You pay us back our money with interest, and you get your item back. Simple as that.
Corey steps in and bumps the offer to $15,000, and you can see the seller doing mental math between pride and survival. He accepts because employees don't get paid in Chrome dreams. It's not a victory lap, it's a necessary sacrifice.
$20,000 loan. I mean, he's a first-time customer, and I just don't want to put him in more debt than he can handle. I'll tell you what, man, I'll meet you in the middle at 15 if it helps you out.
How long do I have till I can get it back out?
You can get it back out tomorrow if you want. I mean, you got 120
No, but I mean
days.
like I got 120 days?
Yeah.
Then things get historical and wildly inappropriate when an elderly seller brings in an 1884 Springfield Trapdoor rifle. The paperwork includes the original owner's service record and his unfortunate medical history involving brothels. Rick loves the condition but balks at the $1,895 price.
It was made for the U.S. Army. Problem was, the gun was already outdated by the time they came out with it. I mean, it had modern sights and everything. It just a single shot. That's the only thing bad about it. That was the bad thing about it. It was argued that they shouldn't issue these to every soldier. I mean, there was repeating rifles at the time. It was real hard to reload when a guy had a Winchester pumping out bullet after bullet after you.
After back and forth negotiating, they land at $1,500. But Rick isn't done yet. He wants to see if the rifle actually fires, because old guns can go from historic to hospital visit real fast. Off to the range they go.
The house is of ill repute, and he ended up with a venereal.
Okay.
And it says that right in the document.
So why are you looking to sell it?
When you get to be 4 years older than dirt, you can't go dig ditches, so you got to sell guns.
The thing I like about this is it hasn't been refinished, hasn't been messed
Yeah,
with.
it's still got the nicks and dings in it.
I've sold at least 20 1884 Springfield trapdoors.
At the range, the instructor casually drops the phrase, "catastrophic malfunction," which is never comforting. Big Hoss gets volunteered to fire first, while Chumlee looks like he's reconsidering every life choice that led him there. Anxiety levels skyrocket.
The reason I need to know if this antique firearm works or not is because I need to determine how I'm going to sell it. Am I going to sell it for parts, or am I going to sell it as a whole rifle?
The old ammunition that they used to use contained black powder. Boom! A big cloud of white smoke.
Yeah, I heard about gunfights back in the day when they were shooting at each other with black powder, and after the first shot, they couldn't even see each other.
Boom! Clean shot, no explosion, no injuries. Rick relaxes instantly, and Chumlee suddenly finds bravery and takes a turn, missing everything in sight. Still, the rifle works, and that's all that matters for value.
Didn't you hear the guy? He said catastrophic malfunction. This is a gun. I don't want to hear catastrophic malfunction when I'm about to put my hand on a piece of machine and fire some gunpowder out of it. This is crazy.
You're really gonna make me shoot the thing first? Fine, I'll shoot it first. Like, I'm gonna have to man up and shoot this gun because obviously Chumlee put a skirt on today.
Back at the shop, Chumlee locks onto a broken 1981 Pac-Man arcade machine like it's calling his name. It doesn't even power on, but he offers $175 with full confidence while Rick looks physically pained. Somehow, Corey backs Chum up.
What year did you say this was?
This is 1981.
81?
Yeah.
So where'd you get it, man?
I got it off the internet. Yeah.
Well, it's definitely a cool piece of American history.
Chumlee is basically the pawn shop's form of village idiot. I love the guy to death. He's been my best friend for years and years and years. But if I didn't remind Chumlee to breathe every morning...
Rick questions every decision that led to buying a dead arcade cabinet. And honestly, fair. Buying broken electronics on faith is how regret is born. But the deal's done, and Pac-Man is officially Chumlee's responsibility.
For man,
I think I need a little more than that. For that price, I'd just hang on to it, fix it when I've got a little more time.
Big hoss. I wouldn't let it pass up.
I don't exactly know what it's going to cost to fix this game, but you know, if it makes Chum happy and I can fix one of my favorite games of all time, it sounds like a good idea to me.
Days later, the Pac-Man glow-up is revealed, and it's shocking. Repairs cost $350. The cabinet looks pristine, and it's now worth up to $1,200. Against all logic, Chumlee nailed it.
A few days ago, me and Chum dropped the Pac-Man machine off to get repaired. I really hope it's working, because if it's not, we're going to lose money on it.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. Nice to see you again.
See ya.
Right now, I'm really stressed out. I'm a little worried that it's not going to work, and it's going to come down on me. I'll spend $175 on it, and I really pushed him to buy it.
Rick looks stunned, Corey looks smug, and Chumlee looks unstoppable. For once, he's the smartest guy in the room, and the waka waka of victory echoes loudly. That joystick hit different.
This Pac-Man was more popular because it was a souped-up version of Pac. It had more mazes, and the ghosts didn't have predetermined patterns.
So somebody tried to do it but didn't finish the job, and so we had to convert it back to a Pac-Man. But other than that, I think she came out good.
So what was the total cost after all said and done fixing this thing?
The helmet saga officially closes with confirmation it's still just a Victorian copy. Rick refuses to budge, and the seller leaves crushed, learning the hard way that age and authenticity are not the same thing. Pawn Stars doesn't do charity.
Yeah, are you still interested in it?
Unfortunately, I don't got the suit of armor that goes with it, so unless you really want to give me a good deal, I don't think we're going to be able to do it.
I think we all wanted it to be genuine, but I'm not interested in a Victorian copy. I want the real thing.
The episode wraps with fake armor heartbreak, a bike sold for survival, a rifle with scandalous history, and Chumlee somehow winning the day. If Chaos had a resume, this episode would be overqualified, and somehow the MVP walked away eating Pac-Man pellets.
Go. It's not easy living in your shadow.
All right, there you go.
Did you hit the ground?
We just found out the gun works. It's been a good night, and nobody died.
You guys don't want any with me. It's chum luck, baby.
Rick clocks a German Cutaway training model and immediately goes full gearhead goblin. He's mashing pedals, admiring the internals, and mentally racing it before it's even powered. This man is emotionally inside the machine already.
Oh, this is super cool. So do you know much about it?
Not too much. I know it's a German Cutaway model. They use them to train chauffeurs and auto mechanics.
Hey, Corey, what's up? Come and check this out. This is like super cool. This is, it's an old model of an old car.
The seller says it came from a museum auction and throws out a $700 ask. Rick loves the craftsmanship but knows replacement parts won't be Amazon Prime friendly, so he calls in Mark Hall Patton because history debates are his love language.
So, have you ever plugged this in?
No, I haven't.
Okay. We don't know if it works exactly because you really can't turn these things by hand. How much you want?
Well, you know, restored, I've seen him sell for $3,000 or $4,000, but I know this one needs a lot of work.
Mark confirms it's a legit German instructional model used to train drivers and mechanics, and yes, the components actually function. The warning label? Any missing pieces mean custom fabrication, but Rick's already sold on the cool factor alone.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Mark, what's up?
You know what this is, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I'm like nerding out on it deeply. All right, well, tell me a little bit about it.
Well, this is a Verkehr Prelag Remagen car.
Okay.
They plug it in, and the thing hums to life like it's been waiting decades for this moment. Rick instantly agrees to the $700, while Corey delivers a classic dad is a nerd roast that Rick ignores completely.
Oh, guys.
Okay.
We get a countdown, drum roll.
Thing I've ever seen in my life.
This is super cool.
Very nice. You are such a nerd, Dad. I'm sorry. You're such a nerd.
Enter Chumlee's segment of chaos. A seller shows up with Amazonian blow darts. Chum is intrigued. The seller insists they were once poison-tipped, and I'm wondering how this doesn't end in an ER visit.
I'm looking to get $750 for them.
I could go $350 on them. It's like $175 each. I don't know how to prove that these, are actually even from the Amazon forest.
Right.
I can see myself buying them and selling them, but it's going to be at that price. I'd like to be in them about $175 each.
Next up, Spencer brings in a battered blade he claims dates back to the 1600s. Rick notices the curvature under all that rust and shifts from unimpressed to cautiously interested, expert time.
It doesn't look like Excalibur that was pulled out of a stone. It looks like it was in a pile of rocks.
Actually got pulled out of the rock. It's just been sitting there waiting for you.
This was under a pile of rocks. Wasn't pulled out of the rock. This was...
Sword expert Dave steps in and identifies it as an Afghani Polwar made for mounted combat. The curved guard and grooves weren't decorative. They were battlefield problem solvers, and Rick's skepticism evaporates in real time.
Spencer brought a sword in the shop that he thinks is from the 17th century. I don't know much about this, and I don't think Spencer does either. So I've called in Dave, my sword guy, and I'm gonna let him take a stab at it. Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Good.
I haven't seen you for a while.
So Spencer's a friend of mine, and he bought this sword, and we don't know anything about it.
Dave values it at around $500 in current condition, but drops the bombshell. Restored, it could reach $5,000. Rick crunches the numbers, negotiates Spencer down to $300, and casually profits off a sword bought for $15.
Okay, so what's it worth?
As is $500 maybe, but actually, if I restore this for you, it'll be worth on the outside $500.
And how much to restore it?
$1,500.
Okay.
Fast forward to the reveal. The restored Polwar returns looking absolutely lethal. Rick pegs it near $5,000. Corey roasts his hat as usual, and Rick floats somewhere between pride and pure dopamine.
What?
I don't know, this came in the mail for you?
I don't know. I get lots of things in the mail. Oh, it's my sword.
You bought a new sword? Were you going hunting with it with your hat and everything, or?
It's a 300-year-old Afghan Polwar. I bought the thing off Spencer for $300, and then I paid Dave $1,500 to restore it.
Then comes a modern curveball, a signed, numbered Game of Thrones limited edition. The seller wants $2,500. Rick admits books aren't his battlefield, and Corey confesses he only watched the show.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how you doing today?
Doing good, how can I help you?
Got a rarest edition of Game of Thrones book looking to sell.
A rarest edition?
Rarest edition ever made.
Okay.
Winter has come, Rick.
All right, let's see what you got.
Why would you read the book when you can just watch the TV show?
Because the book is generally better.
Rebecca arrives and confirms it's one of roughly 448 signed copies. Demand is wild, supply is microscopic, and she says $2,500 is reasonable, maybe even low for Rabbit fans.
Not really the first edition of this.
This is not the first edition.
Okay.
It is what we call a signed limited edition.
Okay.
So signed by the author and by the illustrators. And it's limited, i.e. there were only 500 copies total. This is number 257. Some people consider this book the holy grail.
Rick fires off $1,500 to start. The seller pushes back hard and tension hangs thick. They land at $1,600. And Rick's smile says, this deal just unlocked a new side quest.
So what's your bottom line on it?
She says $2,500 is where it's at. Could go a lot higher. I think it's a really fair price considering how popular this show
She
is.
said it goes right around $2,500. If I'm lucky, I might be able to get more. You know what? I'll give you $1,500. It's more than any other book dealer is going to give you.
I think it's a pretty safe bet with how popular the show is.
It's still a bet.
2,000 would be.
I give you $1,500.